Now let's meet tonight's inquiring reporters. First from the Toronto Daily Star, Gordon Sinclair. And from television, the lovely and talented Toby Robbins. Next, the eminent author, editor, and newspaperman, Pierre Burton. And finally, from the Toronto Telegram, Frank Tom Payne. Now meet our editor-in-chief on Front Page Challenge, Fred Davis.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. Well, first of all, let us welcome guest panelist Frank Tumpain. It's always a pleasure to welcome you to the panel, Frank. You realize, of course, you're sitting beside a very famous author there, the Klondike Kid. I'm just wondering, you're a columnist, too. Do you have anything in the works now?
Oh, yes, one in the works.
You're not going to take 7 years to let us read it, are you, as Pierre did?
I hope it'll be a little faster than that.
All right, fine.
Was this a musical show?
No.
Was it primarily a variety show?
No.
Was it a serial?
No.
It wasn't a dramatic. Was it a dramatic show of any kind?
Yes.
This was a
I guess.
Toby wants to guess.
Was it Orson Welles and was it Orson Welles? His show that shocked the nation?
All right, we'll give it to you on that in 3 minutes, Toby. Orson Welles' broadcast of War of the Worlds causes panic in the North America continent.
Tonight, Front Page Challenge welcomes a former member of Orson Welles' Mercury Theater who actually appeared on the War of the Worlds broadcast, Mr. Everett Sloane.
Mr. Sloane, looking back on this over a period of 20 years, do you think that this was an ethical thing for Orson Welles to do at that time?
Well, I think that nobody really at that time, with one possible exception, ever thought that people would take it as seriously as they did.
Who was the exception?
I was.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was just before we went on, and the fellow that you heard doing the first speech was a friend of mine by the name of Paul Stewart, who was with Orson for a long time. And just about, a couple of minutes before we went on, I had some vision or something, and I turned to him and I said, "Do you really think we ought to be doing this?" And he sort of laughed, and that's all that was said about it. But I did really definitely have the feeling before we went on the air that something odd was going to happen and that perhaps people would take it seriously. And I think I was the only one.
I was just going to say that, ask you, do you think then that you all underestimated the gullibility of the American public? Or the
Yes, I think everybody did. No question.